Alright guys, Emrys Mythrander here. You guys just call me Myth, it's easier. Anyway, happy birthday to me, I'm recording it to me, and I tell you guys, it's been a nice birthday. Like, what I've learned over the last couple days is just amazing. But, we're going to have to get cracking and finish this up, that way you guys know what you're doing. As you can see, this is the post that we have been working on. Now then, when we last left, it was like at 56 or something like that, and you're like, 84, how in the, and then plus all this. Alright, we're going to go into all that. This is what I call the perfect blog. The perfect blog has all of these green check marks right here, all of them green. I know you're saying, but Myth, you got that little red one there. I'm going to show you guys how to fix that one, because that one's a little problem child. But first, we're going to go in and, oh, see, I already fixed it. Anyway, we're going to go in and we're going to teach you guys a little bit about how this stuff works real quick and fix my brain deadism of last time. I don't know if I was tired or whatever. That was a couple days ago. I can't remember. I just went completely brain dead on it. So let's go ahead and go through and fix this and bring this up to the 84.44, and then I'm going to boost it up to an 87 something. And we're going to show you guys how to fix this underline thing. You're going to find it very annoying how we fixed all these tags. So first, I know it's going to get scary, but we're going to go start some coding now. We figured out how to get all this done. We're going to go do some coding now. Welcome to the wonderful world of your code. Now, when we left, I was telling you about the A tags. So let's go see if I can find it. Okay. That's what we were talking about right there. Okay, and I told you guys to find the A tag, go behind here and put this in right here, this real no follow right here. Okay, this is what I told you guys to do. This is where I went completely brain dead. Now where did my link go? Here it is. This is where we were at. Okay, I told you guys to find this A tag right here, go right before it and click that. Okay, and then I told you to update. Okay, and I was like, hey, you're all done, look, you fixed this real no follow. I don't know, I was off in another own little world or whatever. But let's see what that actually does, okay? While you guys are complaining at me, let's see what that does. Look at this mess. Okay, look at this. This is horrible. That's what that did. So all of those links that were all the way through this post, and I told you to go through and do that, they all ended up looking like this with this stupid link right here, right? I know, I'm sorry, I was brain dead that night. I don't know what was going on. Anyway, so let's go through and fix it the way it's supposed to. Alright? I'm going to show you guys something interesting. Let's go back into the text here, and we're going to go down there and find that link. Okay? With my brain deadism right here. Okay, this is the link right here. Okay? So what I told you guys at the very end of the first Oracle training, well, okay, the second, it depends on whether or not I have Team Mind set up first. Okay, if I have TMine set up first, it was the second. If I have just straight into this, then it was the first. Anyway, okay, this real no follow that I told you is incorrect. Okay, so we'll just leave it like that right now, and I'm going to go over a couple of things here with you. So we're going to go down there, and this isn't going to get saved. Okay, well, here, let's put the backspaces in there. Take it down to the bottom a little bit so we have some room to work with. None of this is going to get saved. Okay, we're going to end up at an 87 at the end. I'm going to go through and explain to you guys how all these work right here. Okay, well, the keywords in the first and last sentence. You guys can probably figure out internal link to your other pages. Okay, that'll be the home link right there. So you want to have them coming back inside your blog. We'll talk about blog structuring in just a second, but I want to finish this. Then we're going to go over blog structure. I know I told you about we were going to go over off-page SEO, but that's going to make this video too long. So we're going to go over this, then we're going to go over blog structure, and like I said, it's been a really good birthday. So we'll decide how much I'm going to put up here about off-page SEO. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. We were discussing tags. Okay, and when I say tags, we're not talking about these tags, okay? We're talking about HTML tags. Okay, what an HTML tag is, I was telling you about, okay, the A tag. What the A tag is, it's called an anchor tag. Okay, what the anchor tag does is it tells your browser, Firefox, in this case, some of you are using IE. If you're using IE, stop it. Just IE is bad for you. IE is the world's #1 browser. Internet Explorer is the world's #1 browser for downloading a better browser. Get Firefox, get Chrome, stop messing with IE. Anyway, okay, this A tag right here, okay, it says that there's something important going on, okay? When the browser's going through and it's reading all this code and it's reading all this code, and then it comes to this little thing right here, okay, it says, oh, there's something important going on right here. So that's what I told you to find. I told you to find the closing A tag. Okay, the closing A tag is this right here, okay, with just the slash and the A. That means you have closed that anchor. Okay, now you'll notice the closing A tag's usually pretty short. The opening A tag is usually pretty long. Okay, it's usually pretty long. Now then, I told you to find the closing one, okay, and put it right before the closing one. That's incorrect. What you're going to do, okay, is remember the Control F when you come in here. I'm going to try and make this easy for you, okay, as far as dealing with the real nofollow. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to click your cursor up at the very beginning. You're going to bring up your little Control Find thing right here, okay, and instead of putting in the little Pac-Man face A, what you're going to look for is this right here, okay. This says that it's actually a link, href. Forget what it stands for, H reference, something like that. Anyway, this href is what says it's a link. So you put your cursor back up here and you go, alright, this is what I want you to do. I want you to find every instance of href and tell me where the next one is. Okay? Well, let's go back up here so you guys can see this. You see I found the first one. Now this is your actual link. When you put in the thing in the little link box I was showing you guys for the pictures, and when you start a link and everything like that, and I was telling you to put it in there, okay, this is right there is the actual address that you guys were putting in for the link. Okay, it says hey right here, there's something important going on. What is important is it is a link, and that link is going to this website right here. Okay, so that's your guys' link that you put out there. Now, this is very interesting. Okay, what we're going to do is watch. We're dealing with the very first link. Okay, we're going to take that out of there. Okay, so we're going to bring it back, and then this is the closing bracket for the opening A tag. So the whole A tag, the whole anchor tag starts right there. Okay, and then it has some other images and stuff like that in there because we made some complicated tags, and then it goes down and wherever the closing is. There's the closing right there. Okay, so the closing ones are short, the opening ones are usually kind of long. During the opening ones, what you want to do is you go in there and you copy this, no follow, exactly like this. Okay, control copy. You're going to want to go to the end of your address right here. The end of your address, you'll see where it has it in quotation marks. It says that the link is inside these quotation marks. So you go to the end of the quotation mark, and you put one space, and you copy it in there just like it wants right there. Okay, just like it wants right there, you put it in right there. Alright? Now, watch what happens here, okay? It's a weird little quirk here I found with the WordPress visual text thing. Okay, we put it in right here. Okay, right here directly after it. Okay, directly after the link. Okay, don't carry it off. Okay, directly after the link, we put real no follow directly after the link, exactly how the SEO presser wants it right here. Now we come over here to visual, okay, and we see we were dealing with the very first link. So the link we were dealing with is the link that's inside this picture right here. Okay, now we come back in here to text, and we come in here and we check it out again, and you see it calculates it when you bounce back and forth between visual and text. Because if we notice, we come back down here, okay, we say, alright, we'll start at the beginning just to make sure you guys know that we're still dealing with the very first one here. Okay, it says href right here. Okay, here's the link for that href, and you notice it's not there anymore. Okay, you notice that? It's gone, it vanished. Okay, but it recognized it back over here, and it put the no follow within quotes. Okay, that's what you want to get it to do when you get this real no follow thing going on right here. Okay, and you got that little X check mark right there. That is exactly how that works. Okay, it'll move it from where you put it right here. Okay, and it'll put it at the end of the tag. The end of the opening tag. Now then, that presents some interesting challenges that I'm going to go over here in just 1 second. Now then, let's go over just some basic I have that down there a little bit. Move it back over there. Okay. This thing writes some icky code. Let me see if I can get this correct. Alright. There we go. Let's make the code pretty. You know what? I'm just gonna mirror it all back. Okay. So those are just obnoxious. Let's see what we got here. This is an H1 tag. Oh, you see how that popped up there? Isn't that nifty? So we come back down here. It's going to scoot it up, but I'll just add a little bit more white space there. That way you guys can see what's going on. Alright, there's a little bit more white space. You have an H1 tag containing your keyword. Okay, so let's say this is our keyword. Okay, what it's looking for here is, like I said, we've been going over the tags. Okay, the tag for an H1 tag, if you just saw my mouse scroll over it right there, you're probably guessing. Okay, it's very simple. You go like that, you go H1, then that. Now this is very important. I was telling you about the closing tags. We're not going to make big old long opening tags. We're going to let the machine do that for itself. Okay, but we can make the short ones. But every single time you open a tag, you have to close it. How do you close it, Myth? This is how you close it. Okay, just like you did with the H1 there, right here. Okay, I was telling you these are how you close the tags. It's just the same thing. Okay, / H1 there. Okay, now you see how when we started it was just normal text. Now when we come back over to visual, boom, it's all big and everything, just like when we came in here and we hit the heading 1 on that. Okay, it changed it to heading 1. What we did is, okay, instead of just doing it like this, what we did is called hard coding. Okay, now we can also change the hard coding here too, and we can go heading 2. And if we come back over here into the text and come back down here to the bottom, you'll see they changed it to heading 2 and it closed the tag. Alright, now let's talk about bold, italicized, and then our mega massive problem child, the underline. Alright, so what is bold? The tag for bold is strong, S-T-R-O-N-G. Okay, and then we come over here and get rid of the closing H2 tag right there and type S-T-R-O-N-G right there. And then we come back over here to visual and you see it's bold. Okay. Now then, let's talk about italicized. Alright, italicized, okay, if we take the bold off of there and we add italicized to it, you see how it goes italicized right there when we do it in there. Well, what happened to the code? Let's come back in here and look at the text. Okay, and you see that the italicized is the tag EM. Okay, why it's EM for italicized, I don't know. But that's what it is. So when it says that it wants a keyword italicized, it's looking for your keyword. Thank you. It's looking for this keyword here, saying that if that was your keyword, it wants it inside these brackets, which makes it italicized. Okay, so come back over here to the italicized, and we highlight that. Okay, let's take italics off of it for now. Now then, we come to our problem child. What has prevented many people dealing with this to not get a perfect post? They always got that one last X they can't get rid of, and they're like, look, okay, we underline it, alright, and we hit update, just like this. Okay, and you're like, oh my god, it's still there, it's underlined. Look, come in here, I'll show you. And you're screaming at your computer. And you're like, go down this scroll bar, look, it is underlined right there. What do you mean? Don't break your monitor. Okay, don't do it. Let me show you how to fix that, and then we're going to go into off page so I can stop messing with this article. So we fixed that. Now we're going to go in and talk about why this is underlined and it doesn't recognize it. Well, let's go back into the code and investigate what's going on. Come down here. Well, yeah, did you guys see that? See? And it's something weird, okay? Usually with this type of setup, you'll have the underline up over here next to the italicized. I don't know why it's set up like this in this WordPress, but it is, and I'm showing you how to fix it. I don't know if they're going to fix it later or whatnot. Okay? But they put this new underline in this sync thing here, and what the sync thing is it's a bunch of fancy stuff. Okay, it's what the browser considers the fancier stuff. So they made this special underline thing, so that's how they get it to. I don't know if they just. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's ugly code, but what they did. Okay, let me show you. When we come back in here, yeah, you see those span things and stuff that doesn't make any sense, and you're like, that, what the, okay. We were talking about the anchor tags, and we told you there's different types of tags. We discovered there's different types of tags and stuff like this. There's tags, okay, that just refer to what's inside of them, okay, and then there's tags that have attributes to them. Okay, an A tag would be one that requires more attributes to it. Okay, it says it's an anchor, but what is it anchoring for? This one just says that it's a heading 3, so it's like, alright, that's heading 3, okay. It understands that. Now, let's talk about this span tag here. This span tag, this is how we make stuff fancy. Okay, what this span tag is going to do, okay, is it's going to tell the browser that anything in between the open tag and the closing tag of this thing is what they call a span. Okay, that means this span of characters right here. It's telling the browser that we're going to start talking about this particular span of characters. So it says this particular span has a special style to it. Okay, style is going to be another attribute that it's going to attach to this. Just like the attribute for the A tag was the fact that it was an H reference, going over to this one, it's going to be an attribute. Okay, and the attribute means that it's going to be in the text, and it's going to decorate the text. And how it's going to decorate the text is it's going to underline it. Okay, and then it's going to stop, and then it's going to close the opening one, and then it says that's what we want you to do is make this a special and blah blah blah, this span right here, and then that. This is what's confusing the SEO, and I don't know why they put this in there, but it's a nightmare. It's dumb. Okay, it's completely ugly code that slows stuff down. But so how do we deal with this? You want to know what the tag is for underline. Well, guess what? It's simple. Okay, we're going to take all this mess right here, all this mess. Okay, and we're going to fix this with one keystroke. Okay, listen to it. Listen. There it is. Okay. And then to do the same with the closing tag, just get rid of that in one keystroke. Okay. Now then, this is where we got to stop, because if you want that red X to go away, you got to pay attention. Okay. It'll stay like this when you're in code view. They call it text to make it not as scary, but this is code view. Okay. It'll stay like this, and if you hit update, it'll update it exactly like this before it gets the chance to transform everything over to the visual. Okay, if we go over to the visual, okay, and then we hit update, you'll notice that when it goes from the visual, okay, from the text to the visual, and it's calculating where all these pictures are and everything else, okay, when it calculates that, it changes the code view. Alright, it took all of our white space out again, and it put that dumb span stuff in there because they have this underline in the sync. Alright, so you notice it takes it back out and it puts that dumb span view in. Okay, so we're just going to get rid of absolutely all of that. We're going to leave it back to where it was. Okay, visual, we fixed that, and we're back to where it was. Now I promise you guys an 87 point something % with an absolutely perfect blog. Here we go, let's watch this happen. Alright, let's, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's find it. Where's our problem child? Where is it? There she is. Can you guys see it? There she is. There's our problem child right there. Oh man. Okay. Serious? Didn't even mess that up? No. Alright. So let's fix it. Here's what we're dealing with. Here's the code. Here's all the obnoxiousness. So I'm going to take that complete tag out right there. Okay. I'm going to put a U right there to close it. The U right there to open it. There's my keyword. It wants it underlined. There it is. Observe. We're going to update, which means it's going to get published exactly like this. It's not going to allow the visual calculator to go in there and change the code. It's going to publish. If you publish, okay, in visual mode, it's going to publish it after the visual mode calculator went through and read all the code. Okay, if you stay in text mode or in code mode, okay, in code view mode, stay in that mode and hit update, it is going to keep that exactly the same. You're not going to have all that span ugly code in there. Okay, so watch. Boom. Okay, and it's going to update it. The SEO presser is going to calculate it as the code was before the visual thing took back to that spam stuff. Okay, because if we come in here and we look at it again, see, it didn't change it. Okay, kept it the same. It's that visual thing that's messing with it. And there's 87.78 with a absolutely flawless, perfect blog. I showed you guys the absolute perfect blog. Say, well, Myth, it's not perfect. It's only 87.78. Honestly, when that popped up on the score, I was like, woohoo! I mean, in all the other trainings I found online and everything else like that, the highest I seen was like a 70. Okay, maybe a 76. Okay, so when 87.78 popped up on the SEO presser, yeah. All right. So if you guys can figure out how to get it higher than that, okay, and I've got a couple other blogs that I've made perfect blogs out of, and they've been scoring in the 60s up to the 70s. So like, if you guys, and this goes for anybody on the net, if you guys find somebody that can get a better than an 87.78 on the SEO presser, without all your spin stuff. We'll get into the spin stuff later. That's, I don't know, we'll deal with that. But without all the spin stuff, we'll see if we can get to that. Now then, let's get out of this, okay? And it, well, alright, you guys want to actually view the perfect post. Alright, here we go. Here's the perfect post with a score of 87 point whatever. Robot World of the Orient. And apparently the SEO presser just really loved the daylights out of this particular article. And I mean, I personally, visually, I think there's a couple of things that could be fixed with it and stuff like that. But it just really, really loved it. So, let's stop messing with Robot World of the Orient. Let's go back in here. Okay, we're going to go to your dashboard. And let's start talking about site structure, people. Let's start talking about site structure. And you're like, well, what is site structure, Myth? We need to know these things. Okay. We're going to go to the home page of your guys' page. Alright. Now you guys will notice something. When you guys first log in, okay, it's going to have it's just on your home page here, it's just going to display what you see here. This is what it's going to look like, okay? You're just going to have this big old long list of blocks. Alright? And that's how it's going to display on your home page. Ugly, 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 ugly. That says, I'm a noob, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm a noob. So, let's fix this. Because you notice on my home page here, alright, and I haven't got all the advertisements up yet. I'm still working on the site structuring, plus training you guys, plus having some unbelievable, wow marketing breakthroughs. But we'll get to all that here in a second. You notice that I changed my home page from a little while ago to like I was up a lot of the night working on this. And we changed this. This one was actually scoring like 67 or something like that. It's a perfect blog. But to be able to get this on there, okay, for that to be your home page, alright, we're going to go back in here to the dashboard. And we've gone over posts, and we've gone over how to add new posts and stuff like that, okay? There is a major difference between posts and pages. Now if you notice, okay, we'll go into the pages here, and if you notice, we'll just pick a page, okay? You guys will have a couple of pages that were already pre-made by Dave and Dave, okay? We'll go in here and you'll notice that it looks pretty much exactly the same, okay? It looks exactly the same, everything's the same, alright, except this says edit page and the other ones, okay, said edit post. So we went into pages and we see how it says edit page there. Now we come into posts. Yeah. And yes, I still have a lot of work to do. I get it. Okay. And this says edit post. So there's a difference between posts and pages. Now let's go over the difference. Come back in here to the dashboard, back to where you guys started. By the way, if you're in easy mode and you're like, oh my god, this doesn't look okay. Okay, if this is what you're seeing, let it load for a second. And my WordPress is like, you want me to do what? That gives me a headache. Okay, if this is what you're seeing right here, okay, then it's... See, I mean, this is horrible. Okay, easy mode is not the correct mode to be in. Let's get back out of easy mode. There you go. See, I didn't even know where it was at. See, exit easy mode. You guys, this is dumb. Let's go back into the normal one. Alright. So you saw how to do that. Now we're talking about the difference between posting pages. Okay. Your pages are what is displayed in this black bar here. Okay? That's where your pages are displayed. Now your posts, okay, are going to be in your categories. And you can have your categories up. This is one of the widgets available. We'll go over that in a second. Your posts are where your categories are going to be. Or your categories are going to be in your posts. Categories, okay, has multiple posts in it. But on your menu, this only has one page per menu. Alright? So we come back in here and we go to pages. Okay? And these are the pages that you've made. There's a difference between the pages and the posts. Okay? If you want your little blog thing to show up on the pages when they click on the pages here, okay? Like when you come into Team Oracle and you want it to show up on the pages here across your menu, you got to make it a page. If you want it to show up, okay, in your categories, and remember how you had back in how your homepage was set up. It was set up like that because it was displaying the categories like that. Okay. So the categories have multiple posts in it. The pages are separate and they go across the menu. Now let's go in there and see how the menu works out. Okay. For the menu, we come in here to appearance right here, and then we go to menu. And we wait for it to load the menu, and you say, nice, I'm bored. Okay, now you'll notice here in the pages, those are all the pages you made right here. It has those right here. Okay? And if we go across here, okay, you see that these are where the menus are set up here. And you can change them around. Just click, move them around like that. Okay? Now what I've done is I've gone through and I've made a question and answer page. Let's see if we can find that. Start earning, that's Dave's stuff, that's Dave's stuff. There we go. It's called got a question, have an answer. So we take it and we add that little check mark to it right there. We go add to menu. Okay, and what it's going to do, it's going to think about it for just a second, and then it's going to add that to the menu. So let's go through and change this up a little bit. Okay. See this navigation label? Okay. When we went through, I put this in as the title. Okay, that way it'll stay across there, but we don't want that great big huge title in the navigation bar. Okay, that would take up the entire navigation bar. So what we're going to do is we'll change this to Oracle Q&A. Okay. So we'll go ahead and save that. Okay, just like that. And the original has the title there. We close that down. And I'm going to take that and we're going to we'll put it after Dave's. Dave and Dave's stuff. So then we hit save menu. Okay, you see how I changed it to Oracle Q&A there. Okay, and it says the menu has been updated. Okay, so we've added a new menu to it, and if you want to delete one, okay, you can just delete it. Okay, say, alright, let's get, I'm going to get rid of this get money thing because it seems kind of spammy. And just say get rid of it. Okay, just like that. Now, okay, let's go ahead and update the page here. Woohoo! Check it out. There's our Oracle Q&A. Just added a new one to the thing right here. And we got rid of we're going with got rid of one of them. Anyway, then we come in here and we check it out, and why it takes so long to load that particular picture. It hates that picture. I need a new mouse. Okay, then we come in here and there's our page for the Team Oracle Q&A. Okay, you guys see this? Come in here, come down here, click on these right here, click on that right there, and say, hey, I got a question. Okay, and then you click post comment right there. Okay, that's what you got to do. Let's go back over a little bit other. We've gone over a little bit of the site structure in there. Widgets. Yeah. Let's go talk about widgets. I'm not going to go over everything in here, okay, but we'll go over a couple of them. Widgets, okay. These are all your different widgets. You can put a lot of them up here and stuff. And the widgets, okay, they're what fills this up here. Okay, so what fills this up here? That's this side. So if I wanted to put my categories in, okay, and this automatically shows up. So if I wanted my categories over here to show up on this side, what I did is, you see, where is it? Grab this widget here, okay, and you just stick it in right there, okay, and then it adds the categories. Okay, but I already have one, so I don't want one of those. And to tell you the truth, I don't want the capture leads either. I think it looks ugly. Okay, but you can put your links, okay, to your blog roll, RSS feeds, recent feeds. That's all in this primary widget area. I haven't messed with the secondary first, and those, okay, those have to deal with, okay, you got your address bars down here, and I don't know about, I think that one's just hard coded, and then you got this up here, stuff like that. I haven't messed with that very much yet. I don't understand why that's up. Anyway, these are your widgets. So that's how those work out. We'll go into a little bit more advanced training on the widgets later when we start dealing with what else you can promote on the site, to put up the pictures and stuff like that that people have over there. You remember how we were copying over the videos from YouTube and stuff to get them into the post? Well, in order to do that over there, what you're going to do is add a text right there, and inside this text, that's where you're going to copy those embed codes. Okay, you're going to copy the embed code right here, stick a little title on it, say save, and then it's going to pop up and you're going to have the video playing right there. That's how that works. we've already gone over the menus. Your home photo. Let's talk about your home photo. Okay. People have asked me, how do we get the home photo up here, stuff like that. Well, you notice on the home photo, okay, it says that it requires your picture to be this big. And now you can get it from wherever you want, okay. And you just hit browse and you go in here and you find your picture or whatever. Okay, I've already did it. Very basic information, then you go like that. Now, you asked me, how do you get the picture to exactly 260 pics by 278? Pull up my little notepad here and it says, oh yeah, I'm supposed to tell you guys about picturesize.com or Mythrander, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you this really cool site called I hate the banners. Oh, you see that? Even says Google says happy birthday to me. Yay. Google knows who I am and says happy birthday. Isn't that nifty? Anyway, come in here to pickresize.com. And I mean, this is really simple. You guys are gonna have to be dealing with a bunch of different outside sites. Okay, so we come back in here to picturesize.com, and you just upload, and this is where you can do it. I'm not gonna go through all of that because this video is getting long. Okay, so you come in here, picture resize, and you upload it and you save it, and you go through all their little hoopla, everything, and then you come in here and you upload it back over here. Now your home photo is going to update this picture right here, okay? However, it will not update this picture. A lot of you guys have asked me how to update this picture. This picture, okay, gets updated by a place called Gravatar. And I can't spell. See, if I let my fingers do it, it does it just fine. Okay. Let's go to gravatar.com. And on gravatar.com, okay, you're gonna want to create an account here. Okay. Very simple. I already have one here. See how good I am at this. Nope. Hey, maybe. Do you want to remember the password? No. Yeah. Anyway, I did this a long time ago. I'm not going to go through all this, but you upload your picture to the gravatar.com, and the servers can take up to sometimes they're really quick and it does it in 2 minutes. Sometimes it takes 3 hours. Okay, but when you set your gravatar to that, it'll update your gravatar here in about the author. Okay, so let's go back over here and see what else we got going on here for the home photos, widgets, menus. I'm gonna leave the header alone. This is your background. Now then, you guys notice I got the picture on the background and stuff like that. Well, I got complained at the other day because people were asking, well, the tiled effect it looks ugly, okay? I mean, with mine, because I have such a unique picture on there, it ends up making it look pretty good, but people don't like the tiled effect. So when you guys come in here Okay, and you'll see the different display options and stuff like that. And you choose an image to upload from your computer. Alright, the size of the image, okay, has a lot to do with how it's displayed. If you want little tiles, okay, and it tiled all the way across, you can do that, and make sure you can go into the picture resize, or if you're doing Google Images searches or Bing Images searches, usually you can click on, especially with Bing, it's, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Bing, I think Bing's a little bit easier to deal with than Google when you're looking for multiple sizes of pictures, because when you mouse over it, you'll see, well, here, I'll show you guys. Go and come in here and say, I don't know, we need space. Let's look for pictures of the space. And we come in here and we select images, and we get this nice little layout here, and we have all kinds of nifty pictures about space. Well, you'll notice when you mouse over these, okay, you click more sizes right there, those little things will pop up, and you have the same picture but a bunch of different sizes available. Okay, the people who have just one, it looks like a static background, okay, where it's like the blog thing would be right in here in this part of the picture, okay, and it just looks like that, it's not tiled. What people are doing is they're getting extremely large pictures, the biggest version of that picture they can find, okay, and then they're putting it in there, and when they put it in there, what you're going to want to do is, instead of having the tile here or the no repeat, and you guys can play with this, what you're going to want to do is title it vertically, or tile it vertically so it goes all the way up and down the page. Okay, then you're going to click Save Changes, and like I said, it may take a little while to update it and everything, but then you'll have a different background. Users, here we go, we can go over a couple of things. Your profile. Your profile, okay, when we're bringing in your bio, okay, I told you that it imports this from Gravatar, it imports that top one from your home picture. This gets imported from your profile, and your profile, see how it says bio? That's where that gets imported from. So you want to go ahead and fill that out in your bio. This is my old website. Here, let's put in a better website. PowerNetwork.com/me. That's what I would prefer. Okay, and username is Mythrander. That cannot be changed. Blah 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 blah. Last name schedule. Yep, that's me. And update profile. Yep. So that's how we go through and we update the profile. Okay, and we don't need any users. Tools. I don't think there's much in here. Press this bookmarker tool. I'm not really sure even what this is. Settings. There's one thing we can do. Let's go in here and check some of your settings and stuff like that for how you want your timestamp and stuff to be set up. Media. Just for thumbnail. And this is all really pretty basic stuff. Before we get into these two though, okay, what we're going to do, because you'll notice there's something I skipped over. Okay, how do you edit the home page? The home page can't be edited in the menus, okay, because it's not actually part of what's they're calling the menu. Okay, your home page actually gets edited right here. Okay, on your dashboard, it'll be edit right there. Okay, that's how you edit your home page, and it's still. I'll show you. So I'm trying to speed this up. You see how it says edit page and blah blah blah. Here we go. Okay. And that's also located in the pages, so it's using this as the home page. You notice I titled that there, so when we come over here and we see that the home page, I used the title as the very first line, so that's how we got that like that. Oh, it should be bigger, but this is WordPress. Run back in here to the dashboard, see if there's anything back on the front page I need to go over with you guys. Add additional pages. Okay, that's these links are the same thing here. Add a blog. Okay, that's add new post. Okay. View your site. You can also view your site in here and open those in new windows. More actions, widgets, and menus. Turn comments on and off. This one's very important, people. When you come in here, fill this out. Okay? You can fill this out however you want. Okay? I've got this nested so you guys can just chit chat away like crazy over there on the Q&A page. But definitely make sure this is filled out. If you don't have this filled out correctly, nobody's going to be able to post any comments on your blogs. Okay? Down here where it says the comments thing, you're going to want to fill that out to make sure that pretty much everything's allowed. Okay? Anything else on the dashboard? Learn about getting started. Wow. You guys don't need that anymore because you got me. Then the customize your site. We're not even going to deal with that. You guys can go check that out on YouTube. What I'm going to deal with right now is the important stuff. Alright. This is Google Analytics. Pay attention, listen up, people. Okay, because this right here is how you guys know how you're doing. Alright. This is Google Analytics, and like I said, I've just barely started. I did give you guys the apologies and stuff like that because I was not doing anything for a very, very, very long time. I didn't even have Google Analytics set up. But this is Google Analytics. Okay. So, I already got it. When you set up your Google, okay, like your Gmail account and stuff like that, Google Gmail, Google Analytics, Google, what is it? Google Webmaster. They're all ran by Google, but they're kind of different entities. So you're going to have to go in and create an account. And when you create an account, it's going to want you to put in your domain name. Now, when you put in the domain name, don't put in, and I'm just going off the top of my head here, or like off of memory here. The new thing with Google Analytics, when you put that in there, okay, you're only going to want to put in empower.com. Don't put in the rest of the stuff here. Okay, only put in empowernetwork.com, and it's going to give you back a code. Google started yelling at Empower about this, so what they did is Google Analytics is only serving the main domain, and they'll give you a code for your subdomain here, which is you. So when you get that code from them, you come back in here to Google Analytics and you put it right there. Okay, and then you click Save Changes. Now then, we'll go to the stuff that I'm not quite educated on just yet, the XML sitemap generator. This is, from what I'm told, an unbelievably powerful tool. Okay, it really is. Give me just a second here. My toxin level was getting kind of low. What this is going to do is it's going to go to Google, it's going to go to Yahoo, and it's going to go to MSN. And every single time you put a post up there, update a post, change anything, this XML sitemap is going to go through and set up your full sitemap and everything and re-ping it back out to them. I'm not 100% sure how this works. I'm not an SEO guru, but I am learning, and I've got a lot of stuff on this site that I learned from. I study like 14 hours a day. This is my birthday. This is what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm still working on it, figuring out exactly how the XML sitemap generator inside the Empower Network BlogPress works, because it has a bunch of other plugins and some other different features, and some of the other features were taken away and stuff like that. Basically, you can go through and change how often the frequencies that you want the Google crawlers to crawl and stuff like that. We'll go over all that stuff later. But that's your basic overview on site structuring. A big thing that I want to tell for Team Oracle, okay, when we come in here and we're talking about the site and the home page, okay, when you're deciding to promote your blog and stuff like that, one of the key things here, you guys really, you got to put in a lot of thought to this, okay. I was learning everything on my own, and then I had to do all the site structuring myself. When you're developing your site structure, when you understand the difference between your pages and your posts, and you're setting up your widgets, okay, and you're setting up this, you'll notice if you've seen this video that I was pointing to tell them to come over here, tell them to come over here, tell them to come over here, tell them to come down here, and go through these great big long lists of training and everything. Why is that? The longer you can keep people on your site, okay, and the more offers you can subject to them, okay, join Team Oracle. And you should have your call to action on every single page, okay. The more time you can get them to stay on your page, the better and the higher ranking your pages will be. So set up your site structure like a trap, okay? When they come in there and they're like, oh yeah, well, hours of free training and blah blah blah, then they click my video and they watch a 20-minute video and they're like, oh really, there's a lot of free training on here, and never getting this much free training, and they're going through all this and they're reading all this. Then they come to this, which is a 47-minute video that all of you guys have seen. This is the Lawrence Tan sales video, okay. Then they come over here and we've already instructed them to go through and get all the training and everything else like this. So not only are they being subjected to this multiple times in multiple different ways to be able to get into your system, but it's on every single page, and we're having them surf through multiple pages. So that's why site structuring is of the utmost importance. That's why we went into the site structure here on video. I guess it'll probably be too, because I'll put in the mindset maybe later. I don't know. Okay. That's why we put it in this one, and we didn't do a lot of off-page SEO, because this is where off-page SEO starts. Okay, the off-page SEO kind of starts with your readers. Okay, Google's paying attention to how long they stay on, how long their bounce back is, stuff like that. So The longer you can keep them on, this is one of the very first parts. This is when you're going through and structuring stuff that's bigger than just your blog. Okay, we're going to step by step teach you how to start expanding out your horizons and stuff. Okay, use the Google Keywords tool to make your tags. Okay, stuff like that. And we'll be updating the tag information later. But that's how everything gets started here. Again, my name is Emrys Mythrander. If you just want to be friendly with me, you can call me Myth. Okay, you see Myth right there, M-Y-T-H. It makes my name easier to say. But I'm Emrys Mythrander, aka Myth. Welcome to Team Oracle. You guys are about to get some information that is just going to blow your minds. Like, I found some tools today. I got me a present. Okay, it's only $5, but who that $5 gonna turn into 50K? Wow! All right, we'll go into all that later. You guys have a good one. Keep blogging. Keep doing what you got to do. See you on the beaches of the world, or as Emrys Mythrander, high in the mountains. You guys have a good night.